Hi guys and welcome to my YouTube channel. I wanted to share this whole thing about creativity, but like taking it to the next step. I think last time we spoke about how you could have creative ideas and how you could go ahead and execute them with capital, with no capital, that is with money or without money. And I shared some suggestions and ideas with you. But today I want to talk about something that's more close to the process of art making. Like, why do we need to push ourselves in creativity or in creating original art? I also want to speak about how pushing yourselves in braver directions helps you and pushes you out of your own self-created boundaries and limits. So what we're going to go through is you're going to go through a painting process of me painting parts of this painting and parts of another painting which I have actually tone and why I have tone you can only watch ahead as we go ahead in the video. One of the things I love about being an artist is how creativity sparks through anything. It can be through a messy home, through the chaos of my life. It can be any trigger, basically any of my emotions that trigger my creativity. For me, it isn't just about something that happens in isolation. It grows through interactions, stories, situations, and even questions. When I sit down to create, most of the times I'm in between the chaos of my family life, which is not fun, but somehow my mind works in a way of layers and creating these connections, making art with the absolute dissolute emotions. As you can see, flowers are at the core of my work, but these aren't your typical symmetrical, beautiful flowers. They are wild, chaotic, and expressive. For me, the flowers create a representation of what my life currently means to me. It's not only about the beauty of these flowers, but also how I take the next steps in them. I usually start with flowers, but it may grow very randomly. What happens ahead is something that is very difficult decision for me as an artist, and I feel like as artists we need to keep putting ourselves in difficult decisions. It's amazing to make beautiful art, but it's also very important to take difficult decisions. Now I keep playing with the flowers and I love the idea of having art in different color palettes. For here, it was really important for me to play with the oranges and the yellows of the flowers. I wanted my sunflowers to be a bit chaotic. I wanted them to represent wild, free nature, and that was what I was thinking when I was actually working and painting with them. So for me, it's very important that I think about the emotion and tap into my current emotion of the day when I'm actually painting. It's very intuitive for me. I generally don't know what I'm going to be making. I have some idea on what subject I want to make. I have some idea on the color palettes I want to choose. Most of the things are inspired from my life. So they're really not any other thing apart from my life that is inspiring me to create these things. And that's what I would really like you to think as well. What is the thing you love about your life? What is the thing that you hate about your life? Everything is an inspiration. Everything good is an inspiration for sure, but everything not so good is also an inspiration. Like a bad chaotic day, like a not so good feeling, like a fight or an argument with a loved one. Everything can be a resource which can be tapped into and which can be used to build and develop your creative muscle. So here you can see me, I am still working and playing. Now the paper I'm working here with is a translucent set of beautiful paper. This paper is absolutely delicate, and so you can see how slightly and lightly I move my hands around the whole paper. The idea here is basically to be able to move my paper in a way that is comfortable for me. I then will move the paper outside of the vertical setup and then move it to the horizontal setup. The reason is I want to create some broad and stronger brush strokes. With the base of the page and the complete floor, I get time and strength to move my brush in a more stronger way. I love to play with the chaos of the brush. Strong and thin, thick and then going lightly, almost like I'm flirting with the paper, like going in, going out with it, my brushes, and creating this kind of a dance almost between how I use the brush and how differently I use the brush to create different textures and different styles of the brush strokes. Again, this is something that comes with time, and that is when we as artists need to be braver. We need to love and accept the things that actually make us and actually help us develop our own singing style. What I'm going to do after this is really very random and really very interesting. What happens ahead is something that was a very difficult decision for me. And as an artist, you have to keep putting yourself in difficult decisions. Of course, I could have stopped at this painting, and that looks perfectly fine as well. But what happened when what I do next is a step I take in developing and pushing my creative limits. Because I want to think more than the flowers. My emotions feel deeper than just showing beautiful flowers. So, as an artist, I try to dig deeper, to think more, and to develop a language that I can relate to, and possibly, if possible, my future viewers can relate to. I let it flow into my canvas of paper. I don't be precious, and I am not precious about the work I do. You can see me here take 2 deep breaths before I actually take the decision of actually tearing the piece. And this was something so vulnerable, but I really wanted to share it with you. I did this. I tore a very beautiful painting into 2 pieces because I felt like my creativity needed this to see this. So I think that is what art is all about. So thank you for watching along, and if you watched along till here, you know that I have torn my painting, but because it was not recorded in the best and most aesthetic way, I thought maybe I can show it to you on how this painting actually looks. So this is the first part of the half of the painting, and I have actually attached it to a white paper, but this painting is completely translucent, so you can see that, and I'm still trying to work around it. So right now it's sitting in my studio, not seeing the light of the day because I just want some time to figure this out. Now, as an artist, I feel it's very important to take such decisions, to be a little brave with your creativity, to think about why these ideas are coming to you. If something in your heart is telling you that you want to tear your piece of work, don't just do it. But think again, rethink. Maybe it's calling you to a certain kind of voice, certain style. Now, for me, it's tearing, but for you, it could be about using a different shade, using a different piece of paper, changing your canvas, changing your medium. It need not be so aggressive or it need not be so extreme. I think as we grow as artists, these kind of callings are basically ideas that are coming to you, and if you react to them, then you will get more of them. And if you ignore them, then I think the intensity of the ideas starts reducing, or we tend to keep doing the same kind of work that we've been doing for ages. So I just feel that these ideas are like living things, and creativity is coming to us, it calls us, it beckons us. So if you can react to it positively and try to do as it's saying for you to do, and then just see the magic happen. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please write down if you liked it, if you want to know what happened next. Probably a month later I will share what I do in this, but for now this painting is going to sit in the back of my studio, because for some time I'm going to let it breathe and breathe myself, and then come back to it probably with a whole set of new ideas. So thank you for joining me, and thank you for listening. Bye.